end of December of 2023, where my husband was diagnosed with a brain tumor, and he was given 6 months to live. That's kind of where we started, you know. I wanted to try to find something that I could possibly do to relax him, to help keep him calm. When you're given something like that, I mean, the first thing you want to do is you want to save that person, you know, so that's the path I went down first. I wanted to save him. We were up against the beast, that's for sure. So then I come to realize that I'm not going to stop it, you know, all I can do is find something to help relax him. So I was doing research, and a lot of the research was bringing to me to what the center offers today. There was one day where I told her, you just need to get out of the house, and it happened to be about 14 hours before he passed away. We met Leanne.
I didn't know them at all. They came to a full day of painting retreat. So I really walked away from that day feeling like, oh, the real reason that you came was because I'm a death doula. And so when they mentioned, you know, the situation, I was really glad that they knew that they could call me. It was weeks later, I would say, after that Tracy called me and said, could you please check in on him? And just to make sure he fully crossed. I've never had it happen before. I called him in, and no trace of him. He was completely crossed. What I am engaging with, we leave like an energy signature behind because we're worried about our loved ones, or something connects us to this reality. So that's what I'm really able to connect with. And then I just kind of release it from this reality so the person can fully cross. And I've never had it happen. That like, I'm like, whoa, like he's good. I was kind of bummed that I didn't have it, because usually it's like this really beautiful information that brings a lot of closure.
But he was so ready. Michael was at peace with it, you know, so that helped us in a way too, and then not, because, you know, you don't want him to leave.
I mean, what was really helpful is when he told us that he was going to win either way. If he was somehow miraculously saved and stayed, he was going to win because he was going to stay with us. But if he didn't, he was going to be reunited with his mom and his grandma and his uncle, and that was a win for him as well. So that was all we could ask for in that situation.
A couple months later, you guys made the decision that you were going to open this space, and called me and said, I'm not sure if we want to purchase a painting you've already done or if it's a new one. And so I go in the same process to communicate with the person's crossing, same communication where I just opened up to basically both of your higher selves. Is there a painting, number one? And if there's a painting, what is it? Remarkably, immediately, he was there. So I took some notes. So I call it Meta Insights, is the communication that I get. And it's like 12 pages, 15 pages, like it's a lot. So I just made some notes I'm gonna read. Michael is immediately here, which is interesting because he didn't come in when I checked on him after he crossed. So it was a bit of a surprise, like he was waiting for me. I knew the love you were sending me. It was more than knowing it, I was in the love that you sent to me, and we were in it together. Even though you felt helpless and like I was fading away, the reality was I was closer than ever to you because it was vibrating in every cell of my being, and I was also the vibration. He also said this about grief. Your sadness and grief, I felt that too. I was in honor of it because that grief is love, just in a different human experience form. He was in both places. He called it the space. So he was in this reality, but he was always also in the space that was open. And that's, even though his words couldn't take form, that's what he was so excited. He wanted to let people know. When I asked Michael what the painting was, he was talking about evolution. And I said, is that what the painting is, evolution? And he gave me a reason that I believe is the best description of what MetaArt even is.
It's beautiful.
His words, the painting is a portal to evolution, and it creates an anchor within the person, offering a transition point of reference from the soul that is both here and there, where that soul can meet. So that's what he was referring to, that he's in that place of everything and also here. And he used the word portal not as a metaphor or symbol. He used that word because he was describing something functional. The portal is a doorway, and that evolution actively opens something in the person who sits with it. not through thought or interpretation, but through direct energetic contact. He also used the word anchor because a portal opens, but an anchor holds, and the painting does both simultaneously. It opens the person in an expanded state, the one that Michael went into such detail describing, and it grounds the experience. So it doesn't simply pass through consciousness, it stays, and it becomes a reference point for the nervous system to find its way back. It's a transition, a reference for the soul. Michael was describing something the soul needs, but rarely has an opportunity to experience in an ordinary life. A fixed point between two states of existence. A place where the person's everyday consciousness can meet their expanded consciousness. And not one isn't taking over the other, right? That's just this beautiful space where they meet. Here's the world of the ordinary human experience. The world of effort, of loss, of time, of bodies, and then what he called the open space, the expanded awareness that he inhabited as he was passing, where love is felt as a vibration, where connection is total, and where the soul has access to everything. And most humans only ever experience it once they're on the other side, but this painting holds both. So is that what this painting is for? To connect the person to this space within them that has access to everything? And he said yes, but that's not all. And when I asked him what was beyond that, he simply said, it goes beyond human understanding. You can't process the beauty and the largeness of what is. The concept of beyond human understanding is a very real thing. It isn't a concept to provide mystery, it is a truth that in fact the human psyche can't perceive, but the nervous system can. So that's what the painting does, is it brings us into that wholeness.
I guess at a loss, we found something positive for everybody, and I know he's here. We can feel him, he's here. And, this is an ocular meditation. He was an eye doctor, for goodness sakes. It just all matches for some reason. So we were brought here for a reason. We met you for that reason. Like I said, we just want to give back. We felt very out of control, and we just, we were in that fight or flight constantly. And sometimes I still feel like I'm there, you just need to ground yourself, and we can come back here and do it, Sometimes I just want to sleep in here because, it makes you feel just comfortable, and we just want to be able to share that with anybody who wants to feel the same way.
Mike, he was definitely a person that would do anything for anyone, give the shirt off his back for any person he even just met. So the whole goal of this space in here for the ocular meditation is to be free, so anyone can experience this, because it's something that everyone needs.
So may all of his intentions for you and your intentions for this community flourish in this structure and beyond. Thank you.
Thank you.
Does anybody have any questions for us?
I do, because I think you should share it. Tracy was telling me that there are certain things added to the painting that you don't typically add, and that there was significance behind it. Would you mind explaining?
Yeah, so I can kind of go into that. So when Leanne presented the painting to us, I've done a few different things that I don't normally do. She uses paint. She doesn't really add to it. And then I'm chuckling. There's diamonds that she added to it, like strings of diamonds, and I'll call it bling. Everything I wear, like, I'm sorry, my shoes are shiny today. Like, I'm always wearing shiny stuff, and I always had that. And then there's coils of copper she has on there. And Mike loves planting. And we do electroculture, which makes his plants grow bigger, stronger. And we were coiling that. That was things we were doing with him. So we were actually taking copper coil and we were putting it in his plant. Then the last piece of it that we have in there is she added some, I want to call them stones or crystals. I was trying to find ways to make him comfortable. I put amethyst under his pillow in quartz. And he would tell me, I can feel those rocks under my head. They're there for a reason, it's okay. They were purple and white. So the two stones that she has on there that are textured, one's purple and one's white. So she wouldn't have known any of that if it wasn't for, Michael coming through and talking to her.
Absolutely, because
It's
these are
amazing.
channeled. Like I don't decide anything. It's always a mystery to me, and thank you for sharing that. I hadn't heard that. The way that you work with the paintings is super easy. You sit as close as you can get. You just sit in front of it and you pick any spot, wherever your eye's drawn, and you just want to stare at it, that one spot, for as long as you feel comfortable. You want to stay in that spot. What's happening is This isn't, yeah, it's a painting, but it's frequency. So the frequency is going through your retina to your hypothalamus to your pineal gland, which is the seat of the soul. That's where our divinity dwells. So when you're staring at that one spot, the painting could start to move, it could spin, it could go three-dimensional, it could go completely white. A lot of times what happens for me is the painting will kind of extend on the wall, and I don't know where the wall and the door meet. Anything like that can happen, and that means it's engaging with your pineal gland. But you might want to stare at one spot, and after a few minutes you might really hear, you need to look up here. Go ahead and move your gaze, but try to stay in one spot for as long as you can. The music is actually interesting. I'm going to tell the story of the music, because when I do what I call the meta insights, the initial information for Michael, I always ask, is it a door? Is it a canvas? Like, what is it? Sometimes it's more than one piece, and it's a single door. Okay, and is there sacred sound? Because early on when I started channeling these, I heard to bring in sacred sound, but I'm not a musician. So every single time, within 24 hours, 48 hours, I meet the musician. And there was a musician from one of my other pieces that you liked, and I connected with her, and it was this, not her, it's not that music. So, and what the message was don't worry about it, the music will come. And the painting was done. It was months later, and in my head I'm just thinking, no music here yet. And it was the day before I was driving down here, or it was done. The painting was done. I was going to reach out to you, and I got a call from a musician that had channeled another painting for me. She didn't know I was painting. She didn't know anything. Hadn't talked to her in like a year and a half. And she's like, "What are you working on?" And I said, "I'm working on a commission painting. You know, it's called Evolution." She said, "Because I just channeled music. It's for that."
Oh,
because
wow.
it came, like, it was
That's
you.
so cool.
So she does what I do with music. And so I said, okay, well, send me the music and I'll send it to them. And if they feel it's right, it's right. And so that's the music.
And
But
it is piano.
it's piano.
Correct.
She channels it, yeah.
So I'm gonna bring this in. So Michael, when you're faced with what he was faced with, what did I always want to do? What is it that I wanted to do? Like, I want to do this, because you don't have much time, you know what I mean? You want to do something. So he ordered piano book.
He did.
Yeah, he ordered a piano book.
that's-
Some of it was sort of kiddish looking, had colors, like he was to practice.
Right.
So, and it was a piano.
I
We haven't
knew
shared that with
Yeah.
you.
Wow.
Yeah, we
That's
have not
amazing.
shared that with
He
you.
learned how to play piano without a piano.
Yeah, he
Wow.
used the colors, so
Wow.
it's definitely
So cool.
So
That's
when it was
so
piano and it came, I was like, oh man.
Wow.
I know. As soon as it starts playing, I just start crying. So we'll cut the cameras for that.
I didn't know that. That is so cool. That is
Very
so cool.
cool.